Hey guys, welcome to my brand new walkthrough of the Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion Revisit walkthrough on the PlayStation 2. My name is Vadeeminator5020, and you may remember me as a person who did a walkthrough of Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion back in 2013 and 2014. Which was 12 years ago exactly. And now I am doing a walkthrough of this game again. Now I was supposed to do this walkthrough along with the Uncharted 2 Among Thieves walkthrough on the PlayStation 5. However, there were a lot of things that came up. I did attempt to start a walkthrough of this game along with Uncharted 2, but like I said, a lot of things came up, such as I had pneumonia for a few weeks, and then I also went to Japan. If you've seen my 500 video special where I was talking about my entire Japan trip, and also there might be a chance that I will be adding my 500 video special in the outro screen for this walkthrough. So then after I came back from Japan, I just decided that I would continue on with the Uncharted 2 walkthrough. Then after that's done with, which was already back in June, I would get familiar with the Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion game, and then I would turn that walkthrough attempt into a walkthrough practice. And now I am starting the walkthrough right now. So anyway, why am I doing a walkthrough of this game again? Well, you're about to find out as we are about to boot up the game now. It's on the PlayStation 2. And then this is a game that came out in the early 2000s, where for early 2000s video games, we start out with an icon of Jimmy Neutron and his dog Goddard. And then it is of course a Nick game. Published by THQ, who was later defunct and then resurrected as THQ Nordic. Then also, it's developed by Chrome Studios, which is based off in Australia, who also are the same developers as Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. And then we're greeted with the press start menu. And we are introduced with this start menu screen with a bunch of cool gadgets. Then we can choose from new game, load game, options, and extras. Well, normally when I do a walkthrough of a certain game again, I usually explain why I'm doing a walkthrough of the game again, as well as other things. So we will go to options, because if we stay on that screen, it'll take us back to the start menu. Well, the start button menu. Well, the press start button menu actually. So we're gonna go right here, as I'll explain things on why I'm doing a walkthrough of this game again. So anyway, most of you might think that I wasn't gonna do a walkthrough of this game again. However, ever since I saw a revisit review of Square-Eyed Jack's Crash Twinsanity, it made me wonder, maybe I should do a revisit walkthrough of Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion again. Because now that I've matured over the years and grew up to be a wiser person, what I can do is do a walkthrough of this game again with honest, in-depth thoughts and explain the entire game into full detail. Because before I get onto that, in my original walkthrough of Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion, it was 12 years ago when I was 18 and young at that time. It was also a time when I was starting to do walkthroughs. A time when GTA 5 was released. And also, it was in 2013 when a lot of stuff happened, like we hooked up a TV to an HDMI cable from the laptop or computer. Vine was a TikTok back then, and it was a time when I was starting to do walkthroughs. So I'm going to try to make this as brief as possible for at least like 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll boot up the game. Well, we'll start the game actually. So anyway, since I was young at that time, and then did a walkthrough of this game, I was being pretty biased at that time, claiming that this has been my favorite Nick game of all time. Well, maybe it could still be my favorite Nick game of all time, or maybe it might have changed. But there are some things about this game where I might have not been able to explain 12 years ago. But now, since I'm older and know better, this is where I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of this game where I can go into full detail and then get rid of my bias and then get rid of all of the other unnecessary stuff that I've been saying in my original walkthrough of this game. So the reason why I'm doing a walkthrough of this game again is because to put in a lot of effort to talk about this walkthrough and game into full detail. So I will be talking about the game in full detail, and then I could add in something else, like talk about the TV series of The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, as well as the movie Operation Rescue Jet Fusion. And then I did mention that in my original walkthrough that I was watching Nickelodeon when I was a kid. So I did grow up watching Nickelodeon as a kid back in the early 2000s, and then I've been watching it ever since. And then I stopped watching Nickelodeon when I was 18, which seems to be a pretty unusual age to stop watching the TV channel. And I've also watched a couple of other channels like Cartoon Network and sometimes Disney. But I moved on to better things, where in the 2010s I've been watching sitcoms and drama such as Friends and Fuller House, and other TV shows that I can't name at the top of my head. But now, ever since the COVID pandemic, I've been watching anime lately. So yeah, I went from watching Western cartoon shows to sitcoms and drama to watching anime. So since I watch anime 90 to 95% of the time, I lost interest in Nickelodeon and other Western TV shows, Western cartoons. And then this time, I've also come prepared. I have been watching the entire TV show, The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, including the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius movie and Operation Rescue Jet Fusion. So I've been binge watching the entire series on Paramount Plus. And then I watched this second time again on the complete series DVD set that I bought off of Amazon, because Paramount Plus was missing a couple of episodes and the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius movie. So since I've come prepared by binge watching the entire TV series, I can tell you about Jimmy Neutron. Well, the TV series of Jimmy Neutron. It's about a boy genius who knows little about life, has an IQ of 210, he shows off a bunch of inventions, doesn't always go right, and I don't think I need to go any further. So, just to make it short, the TV series Jimmy Neutron was actually the first 3D animated Nickelodeon TV show, where instead of going into full detail, all you need to know is that Season 1 was a pretty good season. And then Season 2 and Season 3 were kinda random. And then it got cancelled back in 2006. And then due to the cancellation of Jimmy Neutron back in 2006, this game right here, I don't think it's gonna get a remaster. But we'll just see how this game goes, as other TV show licensed games are to be made in its own story, while the Jimmy Neutron TV series, Jimmy Neutron gaming series are based off of TV shows or a certain movies or special or whatnot. So yeah, there are some more things I want to explain, but I guess we'll get on to the gameplay already. So I will cut to the chase. Will this game live up to be as my favorite Nick game of all time? Or will my interests change? Will this game still be my favorite Nick game of all time? Because we're about to find out right now if it still will be my favorite Nick game of all time. And then there's also something else. I have mentioned before that I will be doing a special announcement, and it'll be sometime during this walkthrough of Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion. So I'm gonna make my special announcement sometime during part 2 of this walkthrough. As for this recording right here, I'm gonna be splitting it into 2 parts, which is what I rarely do in walkthroughs nowadays. And then I guess that's all I have to say. So we're about to start the game, and then stay tuned for my special announcement, which I'll be announcing in part 2. As there are more things I want to explain, but I've already went through 18 minutes of this recording. So we're about to start the game. So anyway, we'll check the settings in the options menu. So for sound, I guess I'll make the music a bit moderate, the music volume a bit moderate, then hit accept. There's an option to do widescreen, but we're gonna turn it off because I am doing a walkthrough of this game on the PlayStation 2 console instead of an emulator. And it is being played on a Roku Smart TV. So yeah, I do have a PlayStation 2 hooked up to a Roku Smart TV, where the quality might be 4K, or it could be in 1080p. Maybe I could call it 4K since I'm using a 4K capture device, or I could call it 1080p. I'm not sure exactly what the I'll call it with the quality. But that's just something for me to decide. And then for subtitles, I will leave it on. And then for controls, for configuration, there's type A, B, C, and D, where there are different controls for each type. And then, since I grew up playing this game ever since its release date in 2003, which has been about 22 years, I've always been sticking with type A. So we will stick with type A. And then we're going to keep the vibration function on. Wait. So yeah, we'll keep the vibration function on. Hit accept and then we'll go back. So as you all know, I do remember a 15-second commercial of this game back in 2003, where once we start the game, I'll start explaining things about its story. I'll explain this entire game into full detail. And I'll try to talk about the TV show and movie as well. Well, I won't be going into full detail on all the episodes, but maybe just some. Well, not exactly into full detail, but I'll be talking about some of the episodes. So anyway, we're about to start a new game. So there are 3 game slots, and we are going to start in game 3, where I have attempted to do a walkthrough into in game 3, but this is my 3rd attempt, where my first attempt was a year and a half ago, and my 2nd attempt was yesterday. So I'm doing my 3rd attempt now into game 3, and then we are about to start the game, so we'll hit accept, we'll overwrite, and continue. And then it auto-saves where save is successful. So every time you see a memory card icon, it auto-saves. Okay, now we can begin the game, where if we hit accept, it starts out in Retroville.
Show him.
At Professor Calamitus's house.
Oh yes, it will be.
He can never finish his sentences or anything.
Useless machine.
And the voice actor is good old Tim Curry.
It will be mine. And not even Neutron can stop them.
And now we are started with somewhere in the canyon, where we start out with Jet Fusion in a James Bond-like reenactment where he fights with a ninja, pushes him off a cliff, and then what is this?
I'm not going to let you fall.
He doesn't want him to fall.
Cut! 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 Who was that with the eagle Roger! What on earth are you doing?
And then it's a movie that they're making, and then
Eagle there.
Hey, George!
You were beautiful, Jet baby. Beautiful.
George!
It's just a moment.
Jet Fusion gets a call on his cell phone, and then
I, got a jet.
he goes off in his hang glider.
Jet Fusion, get back here! Don't you dare go! You'll never work in this town again! Jet! Jet!
Where it seems like he's a real secret agent instead of just an actor. And the voice actor for Jet Fusion is not Christian Slater but Dave Fawkett, as we start off in Lindbergh School.
Neutron! Change me back!
So, I still need to tweak it a little bit.
So Jimmy tries off in his invention about, which is growing and regrowing hair.
Jimmy.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Everyone after recess, your book reports are due. Oh, and Jimmy, please go see Coach Levy in the gym. He wants to talk to you about last week's episode at the aquarium.
But how was I supposed to know the turtle's bimolecular polarity was neutrally charged from Joniosome stock coral in Mumbai?
Now, Jimmy, just go and see him. Go and leave that contraption of yours with me. There's a good boy.
And now Miss Fowl's hair overgrows, and hello, who's this?
Hi, Coach Levy.
Ah, Jimmy, you startled me.
Sorry. Miss Fowl said you wanted to see me?
Yes, Jimmy. You see, I'm a bit, I was, well, last week at the,
Aquarium?
Yes, the aquarium. Right. What happened there was,
The turtle?
yes, and it,
Grew in size?
yes, size of a small car, I believe.
But sir, it's like I said.
Now, Jimmy, we're well beyond excuses. Did make for a fun day, though, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't really want to punish you, so why don't you just have a run around here for a bit? Get some of that excess energy out.
Sure, Coach Levy.
And then we start the game,
Welcome, Jimmy Neutron. Initializing diagnostic
where
mode.
Goddard's initializing diagnostic mode and he
The
talks.
right analog stick controls the camera. You can use it to look at anything around you. Take a quick look around the room. Now,
Where he gives you tutorials, as I'll let him speak for itself. And then I'll explain the story of this game.
sometimes you will need to jump on top of things. To do this, press the jump button. Try jumping to the top of the crate.
And I'll explain everything else after we finish the tutorials.
Well done. Now to practice climbing. If you walk into a ladder, you will automatically start climbing. Climb that ladder over there. Now.
So we did jump on the crate, and now we will climb up this ladder right here.
To shimmy, move the left analog stick to the left or right while you are at the same height as a ledge or when you're hanging from a ledge. Try shimmying now.
And then we will shimmy just like in Uncharted.
If you hold forward on the left analog stick while you are shimmying, you will pull yourself up. You will drop to the ground if you press the jump button. Pull yourself up onto the ledge now.
So we will pull ourselves up to the ledge.
You have picked up a tool piece. When you pick up something useful, information about that object is updated in the game info screen. Walk to this purple flirp machine.
which is you got a light fitting,
Walk to this purple flirp machine.
which is used for fitting lights, and we'll walk up to this purple flirt machine.
This is your save point. If something happens to you, you will restart at the last purple flirt machine you passed. One last thing. If you ever see the neutron symbol over your head, press the action button to activate the area of interest. If you need to hear these instructions again, go to the options screen in the pause menu and select controls. Diagnostic mode complete.
Okay, so this purple flirt machine is a checkpoint where you will see these a lot. And since the dialogue of this game is very fast, it didn't give me a chance to explain the story of this game as well as other things. So before I explain things, we'll just run around at the gym collecting these.
A battery! If I get enough of these, Goddard's Play Dead mode will charge up.
These batteries. So we will run around for the gym and I'll explain things about the story since it didn't give me a chance to do so in the beginning. So here's the thing. Jimmy shows off his invention to grow hair, I believe. He does it at Cindy. And then after he uses his invention, for some reason, Sheen pushes Cindy out of the classroom. And then Miss Fowl sends him to Coach Levy's gym, where they went on a field trip to the aquarium. And then Coach Levy is someone who you don't see in the TV series. You see him just in this game. So Jimmy caused a scene at the aquarium, causing the turtle to overgrow, which made the glass break. And then that's how Coach Levy punishes his students, by running around the gym. That doesn't seem like a feasible punishment. And then we do start off with tutorials, which we get to know the basics, and then as we did the tutorials, some of you might find it helpful, and then some of you might already know it for yourself. I don't really like explaining tutorials, but for some of you it may find helpful, but for some of you, you already know for yourself. So I don't really need to explain tutorials in this game, as it speaks for itself already. And then I'll explain more things as we head outside into the hallway. As there's more things I want to talk about, but hopefully I just want to have this walkthrough part go under an hour. Even if it does take over an hour, it won't matter, since this is a revisit walkthrough. Since revisit walkthroughs usually take a long time. But I'll explain more things as we head out into the hallway, as there are more things we have to deal with. So anyway, as we go outside, there will be a cutscene.
Alright, Goddard. It's time for me to do my book report. I'm going to create a virtual world reproduction machine so I can show my Jet Fusion book to the class as a holographic movie. Everything I need should be in the classrooms of the school. Let's go, Goddard!
Then Jimmy is about to create a virtual world reproduction machine for his book report, where he just wants to show off his invention. And then as for Jet Fusion, he happens to be Jet Fusion is Jimmy Neutron's #1 fan. So this is why he's going to be doing a book report on Jet Fusion. Where so far so good. This level is pretty decent. Well, this game is pretty decent, as we get to explore Lindbergh's school. And then why don't we go up to this chair right here.
Holding the action button will let you push or pull objects. A neutron icon will appear if an object can be pushed or pulled.
So we just press triangle and then we move this object in a given space. And then we go in through a window inside an art classroom. And then we have another tool piece, which is a food mixer,
I can use this for something.
which can be used to make something to eat, like cake or something. So anyway, as you can see, there's something from the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius movie, which was reused in this game, I believe. And then we get to explore more parts of Lindbergh School. Like we can go into this, what looks like a health room or anatomy. I can't really tell which room it is. But there are a bunch of batteries that we can collect, and we can go get this. I'll collect this first one, but for the rest I'll just collect it when I need it.
Flurp will increase your health through a rush of sugar.
This is Purple Flurp, where you can use it to increase your health. Whereas you can see, your health indicator is in the shape of an atom, where if you lose one of the atoms, then you will lose health. Losing all the atoms will make you lose a life. Taking Purple Flurp will get back that atom piece, thus increasing your health through a rush of sugar. And now, as we collect more batteries and explore further with this game, well, I guess what I can explain is the reason why I did an original walkthrough of Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion 12 years ago. So I guess the reason is because, well, I was starting to do walkthroughs of this game, of games like Harry Potter, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Call of Duty, and other games.
I have a Play Dead mode. If you hold the Play Dead button, you can control me for 3 seconds. If you release the button, I will explode immediately. Play Dead is very powerful, but takes a lot of battery power.
So what Goddard said, Play Dead is L2. I won't show it to you now, but only when I get to it if needed. And over here is...
This looks like where I can use this stuff, but I don't think I have everything I need.
the end of the level pad where you can use this stuff. And anyway, what I was saying is that I was doing a walkthrough of Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion 12 years ago is because I wanted to sprinkle in a TV show licensed game since I was following Zeppelin G993's walkthrough. Since I was following the walkthroughs of Zeppelin G993, where he did Harry Potter walkthroughs, and he sprinkled in a licensed game which was Simpsons Hit and Run. So since I've never played Simpsons Hit and Run before, I've just decided which TV show license game should I do. And then the license game that I should do was Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion, where what I forgot to mention from the beginning is that I'm doing a revisit walkthrough of this game right now is also because the original walkthrough that I did has been my most viewed walkthrough on my YouTube channel. And sorry for taking a long time, but I'll try to make it brief as possible. So we are in the cafeteria. I'm just explaining a lot of things since this is a lot to explain for a revisit walkthrough, of course, as I want to get into more full detail of this game. So we can pick up this, so we can move this object right here. To get what seems to be a light bulb. Tool
Maybe I could
piece.
use this for something.
A light bulb which Thomas Edison invented a long time ago. And now Jimmy does his brain blast.
The pulse light ray. The primary fire button shoots a beam of light. The secondary fire button creates a glob of light that affects an area. Use the next tool button to change tools.
Which is R1 to change tools, and you're not supposed to have weapons in school. So this is square and this is circle. Primary fire button is this and secondary is this. Easier said than done. And then, so when you collected all the tool pieces or invention pieces, Jimmy shows it to you in the form of a brain blast. And then shows you the tool that you have, or shows you the invention that Jimmy has. And then I'll get onto the invention pieces later. So as we go out into the hallway, who do we see right here? A bully who looks like Butch? He just throws a ball at me, and then we can just defeat him with the pulse light ray. And he doesn't sound like Rob Paulson. You just use a different voice actor for him. Which seems unfortunate. So anyway, once we go out here through this window and into the library, we have come across our invention piece, which looks like an overhead.
This is just the thing I need.
You have collected an invention piece. These are required to overcome certain obstacles,
thus getting you to the next level, where we'll show you what Jimmy's invention will be, even though it's completely obvious of what he's going to be doing. But they are to overcome certain obstacles by going on to the next level. But for the first invention, well, we'll get to that later. So I guess for this game, we go into this classroom right here as I'll explain more things. First off, there's this
could be just what I was looking
Jet
for.
Fusion book, where it must be Jimmy's favorite book, considering that he's a big Jet Fusion fan. I guess comparing this game to The Simpsons Hit and Run, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules, well, we can say that The Simpsons Hit and Run is an amazing game, Battle for Bikini Bottom is a good game, and Breaking the Rules is not a good game. And then you got this game, which I give 3 question marks. Or the reason why I'm giving it 3 question marks is because, well, it could be good or bad, I don't know. Well, you'll find out for yourself as we play this game, as I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Say hello to my little friend.
And then as we go upstairs, still got more batteries to collect. We go through this purple flirt machine.
I need something to protect myself. I know. The Goddard shield. I think I left it in the science room.
So we go past this purple flirt machine, and then there was a cutscene where Jimmy says he needs a Goddard shield. So he left it in the science room. As you can see, there are these cool bullies, which I'll show you how to defeat him in a bit. So we will go to the science room, but this is what happens if you don't have the Goddard shield just yet.
No, I don't think I should go in there until I have the Goddard shield.
So we won't go there right now. We just need to go into the science room. Where you do see these fumes right here, where the science room doesn't really feel safe if these fumes will end up hurting you and losing health. which doesn't seem safe for an elementary school. So anyway, this is like a maze, where to get the Goddard shield, we go through these fumes in a maze, and then the Goddard shield is right here.
Initializing diagnostic mode. Goddard shield upgrade installing. Please wait.
And every time you get an upgrade, elevator music plays while waiting.
Installation complete.
Great! The Goddard shield will protect me from harm. Press and hold the Goddard shield button to activate it.
Which is R2, and this is how you use your Goddard shield. You hold R2, and then you can protect yourself from harm, just like these fumes. They also require a lot of battery power. As for the Play Dead, well, like I said, we'll get to it later on. So there are more bullies. And then we go into this other room right here.
Some objects will let you bounce on them. To do this, repeatedly press the jump button while you are standing on them.
So Goddard explains us that we can bounce on something,
my little friend.
while this cool bully is trying to threaten us. So for this cool bully right here, you can't defeat it with your pulse light ray, not even the secondary fire button. But when he throws the ball at us, this is how you defeat him. Has the same voice as Butch. Okay, it's chasing us. Alright, when will it...
Say hello to my little friend.
So we use our Goddard shield to deflect that ball off of it, and then it'll hit back to that bully. So yeah, there are new ways that I want to show you on how to overcome certain obstacles, like things that I didn't do in my original walkthrough. And then once we bounce on objects like this sofa right here, or chair, we can get some batteries. And then we can get that invention piece over there, which happens to be a VCR.
This might come in handy.
Where nowadays we can just stream movies and TV shows straight over to our TV, like a Roku TV, which is what I'm playing this game on right now. And then I did do my original walkthrough of Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion on the PlayStation 2, where I played it on the PlayStation 3, which was back then when there were some PlayStation 3 consoles that can play PlayStation 2 games. That's not the case anymore. I do have a PlayStation 2, and then that's where I'm going to be doing my PS2 walkthroughs. Then another thing I want to explain is, once we go here to the boys or girls bathroom, well, we should go to the boys bathroom, where it's just here for decoration, nothing really special here. So there are some... Well, why don't we go through this purple flirt machine? Well, while I was doing the walkthrough of Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion 12 years ago,
This boss got your name on him, Neutron.
well, it was at a time when there were no reviews to learn this game from. That is until there was a review by Game Master 468. Where he did a review of Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion, and then that's where I learned the game from. Just a couple of months after I finished the original Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion walkthrough. And then I did see other reviews of this game, such as Nitro Rat and Cartoon Reviewer. And yes, I do know that there's a Game Boy Advance version of this game. However, it seems like the GBA version of this game is a lot better. Even though I've never played it before.
This boss got your name on it.
And then just to clarify things, this is my only Jimmy Neutron video game that I grew up playing. I never played the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius game, nor have I played Attack of the Twonkies. Where I hear that Attack of the Twonkies is a lot better than this game right here. But I don't really play a lot of licensed games as I used to. I just play modern games right now. And there's more to come when I make that special announcement. Which you'll find out for yourself in part 2 of this walkthrough. So as we go into this classroom right here, there are a lot of bullies that look like Butch. I dodged a ball right there. That almost went at me. I almost got hit by it. And now we just go up to these shelves, and then over here is okay.
This might come in handy.
This boombox. Where nowadays we don't really have boomboxes anymore. We just have Bluetooth speakers which you can use your phone to hook it up to and play music that way. So anyway, as we continue on, there's still more to explore. Like there's a classroom right here. Where we collect more batteries and defeat more bullies. And now we go into this computer room right here. And we gain an extra life while collecting a lot of batteries. As I'll show you in a bit how to get an extra life another way. So what I mean is, first we push this table. And over here is...
You have gained an extra life. When you are down and out, you now have another chance.
an extra life. So this is another way to get an extra life. And it can go up to 9 lives. As after 9 lives, you won't get any more lives. So we are in the second part of this computer room. There's a bully and a purple florp right here if needed. And then we got ourselves a computer, where Jimmy vandalizes and then steals this computer. Just like from the anime The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. And now this is what Jimmy has to think about. where his brain blast is.
The Virtual World Reproduction Machine brings the story straight from a book to a cinema near you. Goddard, start looking for somewhere to use this. Let's go, boy.
And it's the Virtual World Reproduction Machine, which is what Jimmy's using for his book report. And then Jimmy did steal the computer, just like in the anime The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, where I don't really want to mention how Haruhi stole the computer. Well, I don't want to spoil anything, and I also don't want to say it because this is a kid-friendly game. There's just something there that can't be mentioned right here because it's a kid-friendly game. And then speaking of kid-friendly, well, this game right here is a kid-friendly game. That doesn't really mean it's exactly for kids. Anyone can play it. But this also falls into the category of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. Those are kid-friendly games as well, along with Mario and Sonic as well. But kid-friendly games doesn't really mean that they're just for kids. They just have content there that kids can... They just have content there that are suitable for kids. As that's what I've learned from the Stimpy Land, where Stimpy Land doesn't have a YouTube channel anymore. Though there is a re-upload channel for the Stimpy Land, but that's not the real Stimpy Land. And also, he does have another YouTube channel, but he's not reviewing games anymore. And also, another thing I forgot to mention is that I'm gonna try my best not to talk during cutscenes. So I have been talking a lot during cutscenes in my original walkthrough of this game, as well as my past walkthroughs. But I guess right now I'll try my best not to talk during cutscenes unless there's something I want to point out. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to talk about, but I keep forgetting to talk about them, as I just want to get through this game already. And now, since there's a cool bully guarding this end of the level pad, I guess now would be a good time to use Play Dead, as that's what I want to show you. This is how you use Play Dead. You hold L2,
Play dead, boy.
Go up to this cool bully, and then you wait 3 seconds for Goddard to play dead, or you can just release it immediately. As for these bullies right here, we can just defeat them with the Pulse Light Ray. Alright, so we have reached the end of the level pad, and then we gotten everything, and before I say anything, I just want to show you how to save, even though I won't be doing this a lot, as it auto saves for you. So we just go to Save Game, go to Game 3, and then save is successful. Where now, I will be continuing on with this recording, but I'm going to say it in a way where I'll leave it off right here, as this recording is going to be split into 2 parts. So, I also forgot to mention the way this walkthrough will work. The way this walkthrough will work is I'm gonna be doing each part level by level, with the exception of the first recording being split into 2 parts. The rest of the levels, the rest of the parts will be 1 level, regardless of how long they take. So we have taken over an hour for this part right here. But there used to be a case where it would take me less than an hour to do a part, or I didn't like doing a part for more than an hour. But we are living in 2025 right now. And I guess it's not really necessary to have a part to be less than an hour. We can just make a part for more than an hour, or for any time of the duration that I would like to be, I would like it to be. However, I could make my limit to 2 hours or 2.5 hours, but I'm still gonna do each level for one part for each level. Regardless of how long they take. And another thing I forgot to mention is, yes, I do know about the voice actor of Sheen, Jeff Garcia, who recently passed away. I'm not doing a revisit walkthrough of this game to honor him, where first off, may he rest in peace, but it's because, well, I've been wanting to do a revisit walkthrough of this game for about 2 or 3 years now, ever since I've been watching Square at Jack's revisit review of Crash to Insanity. So yeah, I'll get onto the voice acting in a bit, and then I'll get on to explaining more stuff like the TV show and the movie, where I also did watch Operation Rescue Jet Fusion on Paramount Plus not too long ago, so I could compare this game to the Jet Fusion movie. But I will do that in the next part, but in this recording, since it's going to be split into 2 parts. So, I guess we've already taken an hour into this. And then I just want to wrap this up as soon as possible. So if I forget to say anything else, I'll just say something in the next part. So yeah, I guess I'll wrap this up as if I'm leaving it out for here, even though I'm continuing on with this recording, making the next, and I'll be splitting the recording into 2 parts. Well, I'll say the rest for the next part in this recording. So if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And also don't forget to hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of my videos. As I am thinking about becoming a YouTube partner, although I can't make any promises for that. And I am about 150 subscribers shy of becoming a YouTube partner to be eligible for it. So if I can reach that 1,000 subscriber mark, try to subscribe if you can, so that I could become a YouTube partner. If I do decide to become a YouTube partner, that is. And also, don't forget to stick around for my special announcement. I will make my special announcement in part 2, which is gonna majorly change the way that I'll be doing walkthroughs, as it will be a very big announcement. Okay, so it's been about an hour and 10 minutes, and then I guess we'll go on with this cutscene, and then we'll go on to the next part in this recording. So why don't we go to this end of the level pad, where we've gotten everything here, and then there'll be a cutscene. So we'll go to this end of the level pad where we can use our invention, where Jimmy creates his virtual world reproduction machine.
Sorry, Miss Fowl, but that's what they said.
Then Sheen's giving his book report
So anyway,
of Ultralord.
Ultralord shot at King Fluboidicus with his super uber flubber shooter, and he dived out of the way, and it bounced off his throne, and Ultralord dived out of the way of the rebound, and it bounded around the room going blam 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 blam.
Shane!
He has an obsession with
And
Ultralord.
then he won. The end.
Thank you, Shane!
And rest in peace,
Nice going, Ultra Dork.
Jeff Garcia.
Would you like to go next, Jimmy?
Sure, Miss Fowl.
So what book did you read, Jimmy?
Well, I made this invention, which, in a way, reads it for you.
That wasn't the assignment!
And yet you want to show it
Just
off.
wait till you see this in action, Miss Fowl. I give you Jet Fusion in the Land of Confusion, brought to life by the Virtual World Reproduction Machine. First, this ingenious invention transforms the text into a digital format. Then it projects a three-dimensional light image using the character database that was created. This brings life to the book, all in glorious 16:9 enhanced widescreen. With this invention, gone are the days of waiting for movie adaptations of books. Gone are the days of reading.
Gone is your invention, Neutron.
Cindy has a point as his invention is going wrong.
It's not my fault.
And it creates a strong vortex which sends everything flying and Jimmy flying.